Good evening. Sorry we had to run away there a little bit. So this is a two-part video taken on several different computers. So we have this idea of this formula, and we know that it looks like. So we're every time we're alternating between subtracting and adding. So what we can do is we can actually use something to flip our denominator, and so that we're subtracting or we're adding either one. So what we can use simply, remember from some of our math studies, that if we take something times a -1, it changes it from a positive to a negative. And so we can use a very similar technique here. So we could use a technique, so somehow it's easier to do it on the numerator, the number on top, and it will certainly work through there. So if I come in here and I come up with some statement to flip positive and negative, then I can actually run this program over and over and over again, and it can make those iterations. So as an example, so where is, so I'm going to put that into, have it over on another screen here, and I can't see the other side of it there. There we go. Open up an idle window. Right, so I will warn you that I'm on a giant monitor here, so it makes it a little more interesting to try to grab a small section. New file. Run. So, I'm not going to show you the last little piece here. You're going to have to figure out how to flip that. I'm giving you most of the code here. But let's say here we have 5. And notice it comes up with pi. And we all know pi is really close to that 3.14. All right. Well, why is it not letting us run or come a little closer? And what you'll find is the more times we run this, so in other words, if we iterate 10 iterations, oh, we're getting closer. Let me see how fast this computer is here in a minute. So let's do it with 1,000 iterations. Oh, so that's starting to look a little closer. All right, we'll do one last one here to really see how close we get. And so each time you're getting increments, you're adding small little pieces to this and getting closer and closer and closer to that value of pi. So let's try 10,000. On this computer, it comes right through there. So we could even try run module. We did 10,000. Let's do 100,000. And notice it gets closer and closer. So when I was trying this in my office, which is obviously a much slower machine than this one, you'll see that 100,000 wasn't that long. So 1,000,000 times for it to loop does take a little bit of time, but depending on the speed of your machine, that's certainly my office machine, an old laptop that I'm using in there for all of my stuff. I tried 10,000 and it literally sat there for about 10 minutes. So certainly is dependent on the speed and the processor type, but you're getting closer and closer and closer each time. So the further out you go, you get closer and closer. All right. Thank you guys for that. Good luck with that little switch statement. So that is most of that. You just have to figure out how can I flip that numerator positive and negative each time. So think about what happens when you multiply something by -1, for